Hi, my name's Kevin Kelly. I'm the head of advocacy with NCBI, and over the last few weeks, we've been bringing you a series of interviews during the public health emergency. And today, I thought we would check in with NCBI services to see how our service model has adjusted over the last few weeks and how we hope to deliver our services in the weeks and months ahead. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Alan Breathnach, NCBI Chief Services Officer. Alan, thanks for joining me.
Good morning, Kevin.
Alan, I suppose like all charities and all organisations, COVID-19 is an unprecedented challenge, and very quickly NCBI had to adjust.
Yeah, when the COVID-19 hit our shores, NCBI had to act quickly in supporting our service users across the country, but also support our staff to ensure that we could continue services as best as possible to ensure the support, safety, and interventions that were in place prior to COVID-19 could continue in a seamless way as possible. So at a very early stage, NCBI Services, along with its technology department, sought to provide technology support and tools and equipment to staff that could work from home and in offices around the country to ensure that we could continue service as best possible. So at this point in time, all community resource workers, lab technicians are working from their homes, so 54 across the country, providing daily support interventions to our client base. At this point in time, over 3,500 people have been contacted with individual action and support plans. And that is continuing as we speak this morning. We've set up a national helpline, so where cases or individuals or our client base are seeking a quick and strong intervention from NCBI, that they can contact us directly through our NCBI helpline. And staff then would turn around calls, turn around supports at a very, very quick time. One of the key interventions that has seen some great impact in communities around the country has been our connection with other charities and local organisations in each of the communities. So our isolation support mechanisms need to be put in place. NCBI staff have been coordinating and advocating on behalf of service users to ensure that intervention happens.
Yeah, one of the very early things that we put in place in NCBI was the national support line, which is still available today and will be in the months ahead, 1850 33 43 53. But that proved quite popular, Alan, and still does.
Yeah, it as it was a new process and intervention for NCBI, it took some time to get the contact number out there to the community of interest. But since that time, it has been an active number. It's been an active program, and we've called it, to put a brand around it, Reach Out program, so that service users could have one point of contact and one contact number in order to drive support intervention mechanisms in place as quick as possible and turnaround time as possible. So since then, we have ongoing calls are coming through our line on a daily basis. We have a team of community resource workers that man that line from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, 5 days a week. So ensure that no support request is left unattended, and any messages or calls that aren't picked up at the point of call, the turnaround time is very, very quickly ensured that we are providing all-around support.
At a time like this, connection is very important. I think that was part of the rationale for setting up the national helpline. But there is a great appetite out there amongst NCBI service users for connection, for a phone call, because this whole experience can be quite socially isolating for some.
Yeah, so since we started working from our home bases around the country, and all our community resource workers over 50 in total, have been contacting service users. The first couple of weeks was working around crisis interventions and ensuring that the supporters in the community were engaged. So over the last number of weeks, the support has changed slightly in relation to the isolation and emotional support that service users are requiring and needing support around. So community services are spending a lot more time engaging, working with service users and clients with respect to, I suppose, the long-term support, looking around at the challenges that may arise or they may face in the coming weeks and months. And the conversations and interactions are going to, I suppose, a longer phase of engagement. Another element of our support service has been our peer support groups, which originally prior to COVID-19 were office-based scenarios where service users would meet, whether it's a coffee morning, whether it's a book club, whether it's a mediation group, whether it's a workshop, to interact, engage, and around peer support. Since COVID-19, we have endeavoured to put those interventions and those peer support groups on an online forum, an online platform. And we took that in two avenues. One perspective is setting up the existing groups up online. And the second piece then is look at innovative ways to put new groups and new connections using technology as a platform.
Yeah, I think the move online has been quite innovative, and I think it's the way forward. But something that's come through like the advocacy groups and through the national helpline is that sometimes this sudden rush online has left some people behind because they're struggling to access the technology. They may not have the necessary equipment in IT, and we've put a number of interventions in place to help ease that. And if there are people listening to this who do need technology support, we'd really encourage them to reach out to our technology team.
Yeah, 100% agree. Technology is a great tool, but for that tool to work, you need the infrastructure and you need the equipment, and not everybody has that at their fingertips. Whether that's broadband, whether that's the laptop or desktop or equipment to support, and that engagement of technology as a new way of connectivity. So NCBI is very aware of that, and we've set up a program to seek support from the corporate community, but also from the communities that we engage on a day-to-day basis, seeking equipment that may no longer have use for in companies or by individuals, and can be donated to NCBI in order to support individuals that need equipment across the country. And again, we're trying to develop that and build as a brand and build the awareness of that, so that companies and individuals could be aware of it and present to us the equipment that they have that they can pass on, that we can bring into our organization, revamp, upgrade, and get out to our service users if and when possible.
And if there's anyone listening who wants further information on that particular initiative, you can find it on ncbi.ie. Alan, the government recently published a 5-phase plan for getting Ireland open again, and NCBI has been there throughout the crisis, but I'm sure your attention is beginning to turn to what our service offering might look like in the weeks and months ahead as we move through the various government stages, hopefully.
Yeah, NCBI management, staff, and service users are looking forward to the day when we get back to our a normal, or whether that's going to be a new normal of business, where we have our offices open on a regular basis. We have staff on site providing those supports that were under high demand up until COVID-19 affected how we do business. So we're looking at plans around how we, no different from national government, how we unfold and we put in place plans to support the the organisation, our staff, and service users over the next couple of months. We do see, though, the use of technology continuing, supporting those who may take longer to re-engage in our normal business and normal community activity, and in respect to the isolation guidelines and the social distancing guidelines. But we do also see over the next couple of weeks and months the doors of NCBI offices opening, and those interventions that were hugely sought out before COVID-19 kicking back into place, but now with a new platform of technology support to support those who are in regional locations, in rural locations that may not have the ease of access to get into our NCBI offices. We now have a new platform, an engaged platform, and the technology to support those interventions online also.
Great, Alan, and I'm sure you'll be back to speak to us in the weeks ahead as we ramp up NCBI's office-based activity. Once again, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much, Kevin, and to all service users and staff associated with NCBI. May they stay safe and well, and look forward to when we're back into full swing and full operation over the next couple of weeks and months.
That was me, Kevin Kelly, Head of Advocacy with NCBI, in conversation with Alan Breathnach, Chief Services Officer of NCBI. Remember, our national support line is available Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m, 1850 33 43 53. And don't forget to check out ncbi.ie and all of our social